Why do I feel like I look like a pirate today? Recently, I've been very into certain vintage silhouettes that I feel like can only be found in vintage clothing. So yeah, there's some stuff that is genuine thrifted bargains, and then other stuff which I got online that had like a big fat markup on it. Me and my boyfriend actually do have quite regular thrifting days. I always find a bunch of stuff for him, but not a lot of what I'm looking for, because I think the pieces that I'm looking for are always picked clean by the time that I'm there. But if I did include some recent clips, you would have seen me try on this blazer, which is probably one of the few bargains from this entire haul. Still getting the hang of this, okay? Don't judge me. But I did get lucky with this one in Bushwick's Urban Jungle. That's the name of the store. It's a pretty big thrift store. It's one of the cheaper ones. It's definitely not as cheap as my local neighborhood thrift stores, which I am gonna hit pretty soon. I'm just mentally preparing myself for the piles of clothes. I am not a great sifter. It was the only blazer in that huge thrift store. Pretty much worn this non-stop since I got it. I got it for like 18 bucks. I'm very, very happy with it. I mean, you could just go into your dad's closet, maybe find something like this, but it's just a straight up and down, regular fit, padded men's jacket. To me, it's just the perfect oversized boy chic. It's not for everybody. Wearing a men's jacket is very different to even wearing oversized women's blazers, but I've been in love with it. If you want some ideas and I want to see how I've been styling it so far, head over to my Instagram, because I've been wearing it non-stop over there and styling it like a bunch of different ways. When I get something in my head and get a notion, I go on a bit of a craze. So vintage belts have been my latest craze. They are such a vibe. Oh my goodness. Again, a piece that I just feel like has to be vintage for it to be that like authentic look. I actually think I got both of these off one seller on Poshmark who like just posted like a shit ton of belts, so I will leave that page down below. I mean, there's a couple of ones from Mango that I've seen recently. I got them for about $30 a pop, which wasn't bad. They are genuine leather. They've kind of got an embossed croc texture on them. This one is in great condition. This one unfortunately was so worn at the back that I actually had to get a new backing on it. My leather expert shoe repair guy on North 11th in Williamsburg did a fantastic job at backing this. He did an amazing job. It was kind of pricey to get it fixed up, but I had already been wearing the belt so much, but the thing was the back was so damaged that it was actually staining my clothes. Smallest but most expensive piece of the day is this bracelet, beautiful intricate piece that I found at a flea market. Solid gold, 14 karat gold bracelet. It says made in Italy on it, but my eyes just locked on it as soon as I saw it. It was under like a couple of different racks of other stuff like hidden away, and I just felt drawn to it. And it was actually a pretty good price for solid gold. It's a weighty bracelet. I managed to haggle her down to about $500, which for this much gold is pretty good. Like, I couldn't imagine getting a solid gold heavy bracelet for any less than $500. It just reminds me now of that really great trip to Washington DC. We went to go see the Cherry Blossom Festival, as you guys again would have saw in my previous weekly vlog. I've definitely made getting better quality jewellery a priority for my shopping this year. I wear my jewellery to death every single day. I don't want it to tarnish, I don't want it to fade, so yeah. Do you ever just stop and realize that like a couple of years ago you were absolutely broke and now you're going around buying $500 bracelets at flea markets? You know me, I love a good trouser. This is something that I had to find online because I just could not find the sizes. I was just doing a general browse for trousers and I saw this style. They're basically a linen pair. They're very like 40s, 50s silhouette. They have like these beautiful detailed pockets. I just don't think anything is made with the same craftsmanship anymore. Like the stitching, everything is just laying so perfectly flat. Almost forgot to introduce this cute little top as well, which I think is the perfect shape to go with my trousers. I actually got it at a Woke Vintage. I think it's in the Williamsburg mini mall, and I think it was dead stock. They only had one of each color, so I'm so happy that I got my hands on the darker, like rusty red. It kind of reminds me of like the actress Lauren Bacall, like that type of era. So I ended up going for the cropped one just because I felt like with these trousers being pretty snug as it is, less bulk, the better to tuck in. So I actually like it out as well. They're lined, they're just made so well, and these type of trousers honestly have a special place in my heart. I actually wrote my dissertation on how all of these incredible women working in factories during World War II basically had their gender roles completely flipped. And I felt like the trouser was a symbol of that. So after spending so much research and now being in America, finding these silhouettes reminded me of those women that I wrote about. I don't know, it just feels like it's come very full circle, and they look bomb on. I got 2 pairs. They're both a little bit snug on me. This is an example of somebody kind of thrifting the piece for you and finding your right size kind of easily. I believe I got these for about $60-ish on Poshmark, but I had a very good experience. I mean, both pairs are snug, but these are the extra snug pair. Oh, weird. I was convinced that these were the tighter pair, but these actually fit perfectly. These are very comfortable. How to get a snatched waist 101. Just disable your need to breathe and you are on the right track. Got an almost identical style. This time I think it was Depop, but very similar silhouette, a double button this time. So with vintage, definitely ask for like the waist measurement or like the hip measurement, because that's what you're going to be going off when you're buying vintage. So knowing your own measurements, whether it's online shopping of any kind or vintage shopping, like if you're buying online, just know your measurements. That's my biggest tip. So I was able to kind of calculate that I would fit into these. I think I found these ones first, so I paid a bit more. I believe these were about $70, including shipping from Depop. We could do more of this kind of content in the future. Let me know in the comments if this is the kind of stuff you want to see. I know with vintage and thrifting and online stuff, it's kind of like there's only one of them, so sizing can be limited. So what I'll do is if I find like a high street dupe or something that's currently in stores that's similar, I'll also leave that option in the description below so you guys have a choice. Hope you're all having a good one. See you guys in next week's video.